Okay, welcome to Long Island Nightlight Interviews. I am Lou, and I'm really pleased to have a special guest here this evening. Eddie is with me from Idiot Box, Long Island's own hard rock heavy metal band. Idiot Box has played a couple of notable shows recently, so I'm sure we'll get into that a little bit. And I also have the pleasure of sitting down and chatting with someone who I just kind of hung out with socially recently. So I feel like I'm looking forward to this because it's kind of a little bit more relaxed.
Right,
Eddie,
yeah.
yeah, Eddie and I were just palling around at Mr. Bush from Frequency Overload at a little event that he had at his house recently. So, I mean, it's always a pleasure to talk to artists from LINL Radio, but it's like even more fun to chat with somebody who's local and, someone that I know socially here. So, welcome, Eddie. It's a pleasure to have you here tonight.
It's fantastic. Thank you for the invite. And yeah, Thomas Bush is a mutual friend and big proponent of the Long Island scene. So we
Yeah.
had some laughs over there, and hopefully we have some laughs over here discussing my band Idiot Box.
Yeah, definitely. Um, I was stalking your social media earlier. If you had the sense of someone looking over your shoulder a little earlier, that would be me. Because I like to just, do my homework a little bit, on the folks that I interview and everything. So I know you guys had a recent show at Shaker's Pub on January 31st in Oakdale, and I was checking out a little bit about that. So I don't know if you want to talk about that show a little bit.
Well, yeah. First of all, I'd like to thank Shaker's Pub. The owner, Nika, is really gives a lot of the bands to play here for free, which we are a shortage of venues here on Long Island to play. So
Absolutely.
the fact that she opens up her bar and lets people play and not a pay to play situation, which a lot of the major venues here are, and we get to kind of it's always a great show. We had a fantastic show uh, at Shakers this past time. Mostly because my band is very interactive with the crowd. Me, not so much. I like to stay on stage and scream, but the crowds are always good there. And we played on a bill that was run by Sound Effects Productions, which Drew Biscardi of Deadly Skies and his girlfriend Taylor, they run. And again, they are also a big part of the community that really kind of nurtures the punk rock, even hard rock and crossover metal bands. And it's a great feeling when you can join people who really care about the scene, although I don't know if there's much of a scene anymore, but it was a really cool event. We played a 30-minute set, which to me was fine. Anything approaching 45 minutes, I start to get a little bit winded. I'm a little bit out of shape now on stage, but I usually let the younger guys take care of that business.
Yeah, there's a couple of things to unpack out of what you were saying about that show. I have in my notes. I was going to ask you about Drew Biscardi. I don't know if you know, but I went to high school with Drew, so
Oh,
I know.
really?
Yeah, so I know him.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
He's a
and
good guy.
yeah, yeah, and I know that he's involved with sound effects and everything, and helping out with the scene and everything. So you kind of answered. I was going to ask about that, and you kind of like filled me in on that already. Yeah, some years ago, Drew and I and a couple other guys were attempting to put together like a Danzig Misfits kind of thing, and
Oh,
it never,
really?
yeah, it never really got off the ground. Not because of anyone's fault, but like I said, I also knew Drew in high school too. We went to Smithtown.
What kind of guy was Drew in high school?
I think he was kind of quiet, you know.
He
I
is kind
wouldn't,
of so far, yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't have said this is a future punk rock musician back then, Um, I don't know what he may not have looked at me and said this is a future bald, broadcaster or something,
Right, right.
so, yeah, but I mean,
He, he,
just
I think he's got a degree in English literature,
he
which
does, huh?
yeah, he's very accomplished.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So do I actually.
Oh, wow, look at you
Yeah.
guys.
but we didn't. I don't know. We just never discussed that. We had a bunch of rehearsals and things, and it just never really got off the ground. But yeah, I wanted to ask you a little bit about Drew and
Yeah,
sound
he's a
effects.
great guy. All the guys that when we had that meetup at Tom's house,
Yeah,
those guys are very integral to what's going on on Long Island music, and that seems to be the common denominator with people that I associate with. So
yeah. No, that's why I wanted to make sure I made it there. Because I knew, that's it's important to like, not just all the shows and everything, but just like get to know each other a little bit too. And
yeah, I like the social aspect.
yeah.
I would say that I'm a pretty social guy, so I like to.
Well, you
You know,
told me you were shy heading into this
well, I was
interview,
joking
so
around, man. You can see by this mic that
yeah,
I
yeah,
talk quite a lot.
yeah.
I've
Yeah.
had things to say on every subject, so
So,
um,
all right. So another thing, going back to what you said. All right. So we talked about Drew, the lack of venues. We keep hearing about venues closing, but very rarely do we hear, "Hey, a venue just opened on Long Island," right?
right,
So
yeah, that.
yeah.
You got Mr. Beery's, which is closing,
Yep.
a nice place to play. Yeah, it's it's almost like you have to kind of come up with your own plan to stage a show, whether at a VFW. A
Yep.
lot of younger bands are doing that, where they kind of invent venues
Yeah.
because there really isn't a steady venue. And one of the big things that here is, there is no really venue with any foot traffic.
Right.
Like usually, if you put a show together, only the people who know the bands are coming down.
Yep.
You're not going to see strangers discovering your band and being like, wow,
Yeah.
and that's a shame, but that's kind of a product of the times. There's so many things to do now as opposed to when like Idiot Box started in the early 90s. There wasn't a Netflix, there wasn't your phone, there wasn't people
Yep.
would want to congregate. Now people really just want to stay home, and the older you get, the more you want to stay home. I mean, I'm certainly know what that's all about. But so it is a little bit of a disheartening, but the people who come down to the shows, they are really diehards and really support the scene. Since we've come back, we've been back about 6 years, and I see the same people and are very dedicated to Idiot Box and what we bring to the table. So, and I always love it when other bands come to support us because that's what we do.
Sure.
We're big in, especially Joe Rockhead, our bass player.
Oh
He
yeah.
is filming every show and he's at every show.
Yep.
And he, in his own way, I don't think he really knows it. He just likes to film and stuff like that. But in his way, if you want to see any band on Long Island, you just go to his YouTube channel,
Yeah.
Joseph Rockhead, and it's up there. It's
Yep.
up there. And he's going to 2 shows a week, on the weekends,
Yeah. No, I
So
see him all the time. Anytime I go to a show, I see him.
he's around with that camera,
Yep.
but he enjoys that. And, he still moves around for an older guy.
Yeah.
So,
And he's doing a service for folks just by
yeah, I
doing
don't
it.
think he doesn't think in those ways.
Right.
But yeah, he is, though. You're exactly right. That's what he's doing. So if you can go to his YouTube channel, definitely check him out.
I will. Absolutely. Um, Now, what else? I was going to get into. Okay, so I wanted to go back in time a little bit with you. December, what was it? December 11th. You guys opened for MOD at Amityville Music Hall.
Yeah, that was a dream come true for me.
Yeah.
I've been an MOD devotee since the beginning. After a while, I became friends with Billy Milano, who is in MOD.
Mhm.
And he knows that I am probably one of the biggest supporters of his music and what he has to say. And I kind of envy the guy because he can deliver lyrics in a sarcastic, sardonic way that on the surface it may sound like really overtly controversial, but there's usually a message, and I like the message, and the music's always been heavy. and my kind of thing. I really appreciate his writing. So anyway, Billy said he was coming back. He's bringing MOD up to the East Coast, and he asked about some of the venues he could play. And I said, well, we'll try Amityville Music Hall, which wasn't there the last time he was around. The only place on Long Island to play the last time he was around was a place called the Crazy Donkey.
Yep.
I don't know if you remember that place in Huntington. And so Billy asked us to play, and it was a great show. I was very happy with the turnout because it was a cold night, and sometimes people are fickle, especially you're talking about a band that's main popularity was probably up to like 88, 90.
Sure.
And that's 30 odd years ago. So I wonder about the older folks, would they come out? And they came out in droves, and it was a great show. It was a great show for us. It's a great show for me personally because I got to go on stage and sing United Forces with Billy.
Oh,
so
awesome.
yeah, I mean, that was like, and it was funny because a friend of our band, Anthony, came up on stage and he started singing with me, and he turned to me, he goes, I can't believe this is happening.
Yes.
This is a dream of mine. I'm like, yeah, me too, man.
Awesome.
So it was really good. And Billy is a really good guy. And, despite his controversial nature, if you're friends with him, he'll stick with you forever. If you're an enemy, well, then there's a problem. But
I want to be on that list, actually.
Well, yeah, I know. So but our band really enjoyed it. We got actually a chance to go backstage. I didn't even know there was like a VIP room at Amityville Music Hall.
Yeah, that's news to me.
My band
never found it.
Yeah, it's upstairs. You have to go out and up, and it actually had like a bathroom and a shower and some seats. I mean, it wasn't like some kind of deluxe thing, but I was just happy that there was a VIP room.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, no, it's funny how my band has played this several times and never heard.
Oh, I certainly didn't know about it. I'm going to insist on it next time I go. So I'm a VIP.
Yeah, exactly. You go head straight up there. So if you don't mind me waxing poetic on Billy Milano for a little bit.
Sure, go ahead.
I mean, I would guess that we're probably in the same age group. And I remember easily 14-year-old me with my Walkman and a cassette tape with SOD, Speak English or Die, recorded on it one side. And then I think there was something from Venom on the other side.
Oh, well, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Gates of Hell or something like that. And just walking around with that and just always just love the SOD album. I didn't really get into MOD too much, and I'm not exactly sure why. It wasn't like I listened to it and didn't like it. I'm not sure where I was musically, but I did have one slight interaction with Billy Milano, not at your level, okay?
Well, all interactions are memorable with Billy.
Yeah. So we were at, me and my friend Ray, who's the drummer in Native Son, we were at Sundance in Bayshore. I think we were about 15 or 16 years old. It was a King Diamond show. King Diamond and Toxic were opening up for King Diamond, and Billy Milano was there, and he stepped on my foot. And he shoved Ray a little bit. So we were both like, I was like, I'm not washing this foot. And Ray's like, I'm not going to wash my arm because you touched my arm. Yeah. So that's the extent of my interaction with Billy Milano. But
wow, I'm surprised. Oh, I wonder why he was there at that show. What?
I don't know. It was definitely Sundance in Bayshore, and it was definitely King Diamond. I saw King Diamond a couple of times in my teens on Long Island. One was at Sundance, and one was at Showcase, which I want.
Oh yeah, I remember that place.
Yeah, in the Mayfair Shopping Center in Colmac with Flotsam and Jetsam.
Well, that's a good bill.
Yeah, can you imagine this little place? I mean, it was like maybe 100 people there.
I think I saw Kicks at Showcase.
Oh, wow. And also, if you remember, Testament may have played, I think, at Showcase.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool because it was just like 10 minutes away, and you're just going to see like some heavy metal bands that you really love,
Yeah, they would come around and you would catch them, and and you didn't realize what you were seeing at the time, and now you're like, wow, I really was a.
Yeah, it's being in the room with King Diamond screaming and makeup and stuff. You're like, where the hell
were they on? I don't know. Were they on Megaforce Records? Maybe that's why he was there. I don't know what label
King
they
Di-
were.
I don't know. King Diamond was on Roadrunner back then.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know what Billy Milano had to do with it, but I'm certain of that.
Sometimes he would be like guest bouncer. Like,
oh yeah,
yeah, like weird.
Yeah, he just came walking through the crowd and he stepped on my foot and shoved my friend. And I was like, "That's fantastic!" Like,
It's amazing how people remember every interaction with that guy, because I've seen it, hanging out with him just like off stage, people just coming up to him. I remember this. You signed my car door back in, he doesn't remember. But
no,
Billy. I had enough of Billy.
But how many times did I rock out to Milano Mosh?
Oh yeah, those are. I mean, it's a great album. It's a shame that those guys. Well, I would. They don't get along. So
no, yeah. So that's what I guess.
Oh yeah, he detests Scotty, and he doesn't like Charlie either.
Yes, I don't know
different reasons, but he gets along with Dan Lilka, the bass player. So there's that. As a matter of fact, I don't want to make this all about Billy, but he's doing a tribute to SOD called United Forces, which is going to be. They don't have a Long Island date, but I'm going to see them Saturday at Dingbats in Jersey. So,
cool.
Yeah, so it's it's not going to be any original members. So, but
right.
Billy will be out front. So there is no SOD without Billy Milano.
No, absolutely not. So
that's cool.
Yeah. No, I was the whole day I was looking forward to. I was like, I hope Eddie lets me tell my little Billy.
That's
Milano.
great. I'm gonna when I see him Saturday, I'm gonna let you know.
Yeah. Just be like, Billy, I know you don't remember it, but I know someone you stepped on his foot and he really appreciates it. But you could ask him though. I mean, if you get a chance about the King Diamond, like what the hell was he doing?
I will. I'm gonna ask him about King Diamond.
And then if it turns out that it wasn't a King Diamond show, then I got to reassess everything because
your whole life changes.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Idiot Box. Because you know what?
That's
my bandmate. Joe, my bandmates are listening, and every time I don't talk about them, they're all going to give me flack. So I got to talk about each one of them.
Well, so tell me about Bro Ed, and you told me a little bit about Joe Rockhead. Tell me about Kevin.
The whole history of Idiot Box starts really around like 1989, 90. Wow. Bro Ed was our drummer. He was about 15 at the time. Joe Rockhead played guitar, oddly enough, and I had met him at a mobile gas station. We both worked together, and he had listened to some stuff that I had recorded, some punk kind of stuff, and he was like really into it. And he played guitar. He's a pretty good guitarist, good coming up with riffs. And then we found some hooky faluki bass player when we played out. We played out quite a lot into like 93, 94. We played all the usual suspects venues. We played the Roxy. I don't think we played Sundance. No, we didn't play Sundance. We played a lot of local gigs and places in Huntington mostly, and house parties. Oh, we also played Hammerheads too. That was another the Right Track Inn. I don't know if you ever remember the Right Track Inn.
That I don't remember. Hammerheads was in Elmont, wasn't it?
Right. Yep.
I grew up in Elmont, so I remember that place.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had a very famous gig at Hammerheads. It was the night of the first World Trade Center bombing. It was a van that exploded in the World Trade Center. Right. It was like the first terrorist thing.
Yes.
And all the bands that were coming from the city could not get into Elmont because they had closed down the roads. And we were the only band that showed up.
Wow.
So we played in front of nobody. We were on a bill with like 6 other bands. And yeah. So we played out. We made some songs. We always went over well because we were really not taking anything serious. And then we decided to just go our own ways, like, live life. And till about 6 years ago, I was on Facebook and I messaged Ed, Bro Ed, who now plays guitar. We switched Joe to bass, and we got a Craigslist ad, which I thought I was going to get psycho. We got our drummer, who is, about as opposite as a Craigslist maniac as you could get. He's
No,
just
you're lucky. You're lucky.
right. He's a super mellow dude, and he's so good. It really added that final element that we needed. And I just can't say enough about these guys. They're friends on and off the stage. We constantly laugh. We're laughing at practice. I mean, we're serious in what we do, like to a degree. I think we are. I think Bro Ed keeps us in line.
I've seen you guys perform a few times, and that transfers that good time that you're having.
Yeah, it's weird because I think for a band that's kind of loose on stage, we're extremely tight with everything is, and other band members will let me know when I fucked up. Especially Bro Ed. He's the type A personality, and he makes it keeps it all together.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's a nice combination of the tight musically, but loose like personality wise.
You want to be. I mean, the number one thing is for us to entertain.
Sure.
We're not up there. First of all, we all have jobs or have made money in other ways than music. So, that whole thing about making money through music, that's, that's not a thing. But we want to be as professional looking as possible while we're having a good time.
How, just you personally, how did you first start getting into music?
Well, it's funny because my true music tastes before I found metal were really in the new wave section. I really liked, I'm a big fan of the Cars. That was a band that I gravitated around when I was about 13 years old, in the 1978, 79 era. And then the MTV came along, and then I was just into MTV. I watched MTV like 20 hours a day.
Wow.
This was like not exactly 20 hours, but
yeah,
I just watched, and that's how my music fandom started. Plus, my dad also had old albums. I got into Johnny Cash and Hank Williams, Senior. Senior, and so it kind of started. It wasn't really till Metallica, Master of Puppets came out that I really got into metal, and I was a little bit hesitant to like it because some of my friends had liked it, and I was like, "No, come on, it's the same thing. It's mellow, it's heavy, then it goes back to mellow, and it's heavy." But then I really started to dig it. Once I started to dig it, I had to find the most extreme stuff. Like I had to keep digging because I feel like you have to look for music, especially nowadays. If you have to really look for it. And because people say, "Oh, there's nothing good out." Well, it's not like the old days where it was hammered into your skull on AM radio or FM radio. You have to find it.
Yeah, no, I mean, in my role here with LINL Radio, it's kind of awesome because there are some bands that I just genuinely really like and follow now that that have come to me that otherwise I wouldn't have ever been aware of. So,
that's why it's very vital what you do and other podcasters and other people who have outlets to promote this stuff because it's essential. I found a lot of bands that I've played with that they're on my playlist now. I wouldn't say all of them, but there are a couple out there I really like.
Yep, definitely. So now what's next with you guys? What do you guys have in store?
Well, right now we're recording new stuff because we've been playing pretty much the same group of songs, but we've pretty much perfected some of the newer songs playing it live. So right now we're in the studio. We recorded 2 new tracks, one song called Cancel Delete and the other one called Checked Out. And we're progressing with more songs. We have a lot of the tracks. Ed's very diligent at coming up with the riffs and putting them together. He excels at that. It's just a kind of a process to learn the songs because when Joe was the guitarist, the songs were very simple, which I have no problem with. God bless you.
Thank you.
And these songs are a little bit more intricate, a little bit more difficult. So Joe's got to Joe Rocket gets very comfortable in just playing the same old song, same old song. So to get him to learn the new songs is usually a challenge. But he's been really good lately, and so yeah, we're working on new stuff. We're going to try to come out with a full length CD and have it done properly and all that stuff. But it's probably going to be a while, by the time I write the songs and we get everybody together. It's going to be a process, as they say in Canada.
Yeah, it's an intimidating to put together a full length album. If you ask me, it's a big project. So
it is, especially I got to get it's hard to agree a lot. Thank God it's just really me and Ed that kind of like, I kind of like it when he likes my ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes if he's not on board with the ideas, he's like, he'll say, oh, yeah, well, come on, what's this about? Because I'm writing, a lot of times you get that, what's this song about? I mean, I've written like over 80 songs. I don't know. I mean, it depends what's in my head that month or that week.
Yeah, well, I mean, someone needs to explain to me what Stairway to Heaven is about and what Bohemian Rhapsody is about, and then I'll tell you what my songs are about, because those two fucking songs aren't about anything.
I know. I don't know. Bohemian Rhapsody.
I'm not saying that they're bad songs. I'm saying that they're not about any damn thing in the world. Okay, I've still not experienced a bustle in my hedgerow once in my life. Okay, well, maybe I haven't. I just didn't realize it.
No, I think you're right. Not many bustles in my hedgerow as well.
Yeah, but you know what but what I guess the point I'm trying to make is, like, a lot of times it's like it's a connection that the lyrics can make, I guess, with a listener that maybe even goes beyond meaning sometimes, so
right. I mean, it's always
so hard for meaning. It could be something that connects on a different level.
Yeah, I mean, like there's songs like, for instance, we have a song called Rock'em Sock'em Robots. I mean, right there, you know what it's about. It's about playing a game of Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Yeah.
Right? But then we'll come up with other songs and people say, oh, what's cancel delete mean? What's that about? I think you pretty much, it's about cancel culture. But you don't want to be too preachy. And, I try to stick around, I'm against censorship. So if you're being canceled because you're bringing out a message that, to me, especially with comedy or art, I have a really big problem with that. But, just because I want to sing something about that it may not be jive with the other band members. Like,
Sure.
And it's lucky. I don't know about you, Lou, when you play in a band, I always find it interesting that, like, the drummer or not the drummers, I don't want to single out Kevin, but I mean, just like people in the band don't know what you're singing about. They have no idea. It's just, you're on my mind. We're going to do that next.
Yeah.
And you have no idea what the lyrics are or what,
No, it is interesting that the guys in the band
probably. I would be interested. Like, what is this song about?
Yep.
Maybe they wondered about that, like, behind the scenes. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I know. It's funny. It's like, guys, this is your song. You don't even know how it goes. Like, you don't even know what the words are. Like,
right. And I feel like such a numbnut. I'm like, oh, they don't even care. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But usually the titles grab them. They really like it.
Yeah.
It's all about the titles. So a lot of times I'll come up with the titles before I even write the song.
That's cool.
Just to put ideas in my head and then go back on them and look, look at it.
I'm always interested in hearing writing process, like how those things come about. People don't realize that you're bringing something into existence that didn't exist before, so it's an interesting process, to say the least.
I find that I need an editor. That's where Bro Ed really comes in. I write so much lyrics, and then when it comes down to put them down on recorded tracks, he'll say, this is too wordy. You've got to take this word out. And, he's good at keeping me on. And I've gotten a little bit better at that.
Bro Ed, I mean, does Ed stand for editor, or?
It could be Bro Editor.
Yeah.
There's two Eds in the band, so we just make a little Bro Ed because he's Joe's brother. He's Joe Rockhead's brother.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize the connection.
Yes. Yeah. So it's good having two brothers. They're both on the same page, and they both make each other laugh. So
Yeah, that's cool. So Eddie, I'm going to start to wrap this up a little bit. One of the things I want to say is I'm going to back up this interview, the audio of this interview. I'm going to go right into your tune Monster Zero, which I fucking love that song. I think I've told you that before.
yeah, a lot of people like that, dig that tune.
Yeah. And I have, and I'm not someone to just, give false praise or anything like that, but I have just about 1,100 songs in the library now, and that one really stands out. It does. So,
Oh wow, thank
yeah,
you.
yeah.
We
So I'm
appreciate
gonna
it.
back up this interview with that, and if if the timing works out between now and the airing of the interview, if you want to get me some of the new tunes or whatever, that'd be great.
Oh,
If
I definitely will. I
Yeah,
definitely will.
yeah, that's awesome. So,
I know the band is very psyched to hear their new music, hear the new stuff out, and see what it sounds like on
so if the timing works
LINL
out
Radio.
with that, that'd be perfect. And if Eddie, if you just hang out for a minute, we can, finalize that or whatever.
Sure.
I'm just gonna wrap things up. So yeah, thank you so much, Lionel Radio audience, for tuning in and checking out this video. If you're watching the video, make sure you like and comment and subscribe and all that kind of thing. That's always helpful. Go follow Idiot Box. They have a Facebook group that you could join that I'm a member of. Okay.
Or on
and
Instagram at IdiotBoxLI.
there you go. Thank you for that. And also, if you are listening to this interview on Lionel Radio, just first of all, stay tuned to Lionel Radio 24/7 because it's constant music and music content. Download the app, of course, for Lionel Radio. It's free and it's for iPhone and Android. And just stay tuned because I'm going to be playing some Idiot Box right now. So thanks again, Ed.
Take care, my brother. Thank you for having me.